Hey everybody, Asher here, and it's Free Play Friday, and if you hear a haunting sound in the background, don't worry. We're just scanning the stars for background radiation and signals in the Fermi Paradox, a game that tries to address the question of why do we seem to be so alone in the universe. This game is kind of weird, kind of interesting, kind of a chill, sort of auto-clicker, sort of scenario reading thing. We're just going to go and get started. This is sort of a not entirely blind playthrough, but this is the early access version, not the demo version, and our goal here is to develop a newly born civilization out of our galaxy, so it can send out radio signals as a first step towards establishing contact with each other. So if we reach the singularity age with at least 4 civilizations to achieve galactic unity, this is a living game and some features are still in development because it's early access. And the screen just went black. Huh. We're generating a galaxy, and the game didn't even tell me we were starting. We're going to run into this a bit, because I have watched a few other people play this, so I kind of understand what's going on a little bit, but we have a galaxy generation of 0%. And the program's now not responding. Oh boy. There we go. A new galaxy is born, ... after it makes my computer make mincemeat of itself, because optimization, not quite there yet. Billions of stars are formed. By the way, one thing to keep in mind is that some of the decisions you make in this game are very brutal, very bad, very nightmarish, very sort of, oh my god, what the hell is happening? So this is not necessarily, when I say it's a chill game, it's chill in a, you're in a chill nightmare kind of place. So, tutorials active. We have a bunch of different places that we can look at. You're the Galactic Gardener. Would we like to play the tutorial? Sure, why not? Only a handful of planets have the optional conditions to go. Click on the star system to take a closer look, and that's going to be this one here. This is the Frogstor System. There are synthesis flares. The game will always pause when the flares are visible. Only if you collect one of these flares will space-time continue. So we have this little thing ticking on the right. It's a flare star system containing a moon, one additional huge rocky brown gas giant. Nearly every planet on the surface is full of thorns and very toxic. So we're going to grab one of these. You'll need to accumulate synthesis to make optional choices in the future. A new civilization is born with the passing of time. We have our first event here. So, evolution event. The Gliese System, sapient life is formed. We can tell because they're sapient. So, a life form has started making simple tools. Who knew that we'd be seeing life this first year? The first remaining decisions. Click on the options to confirm your choice. So, it's a new civilization is born. We can choose something that will take away synthesis. It's a balanced species. We could do standard, which does 0, or we can do an unbalanced and give ourselves some additional synthesis. So iron oxide in the atmosphere gives it a rocky desert or a planet. All animals on the planet's surface carry additional water reservations and specialized organs so they can survive in the desert. Huge hypersaline lakes divide the land regions between their salt crystal shores. Let's go for a standard species. Okay. Is it going to force me to do that one because I clicked it? Or can we do this and make it kind of look like one of the title creatures here? Or we can do a crazy bird thing. You know what? I like crazy bird thing. The car, always hungry and merciless. These nightmare avian creatures rule the sky. The route, aggressive and solitary. These naturally armored creatures inhabit barren wastelands. Or the prune, peaceful observers. These gentle herds of four-eyed horse humanoids roam the wide rocks. I like nightmare birds. Alright, a first civilization born. This is your first sapient species in the galaxy. Take good care of them. Others will evolve later in time. You, as the Galactic Gardener, will be responsible for them too. So this tutorial is just slapping a bunch of things at me all at once. And for some reason, I can't click off of this. Alright, so civilization overview. Tech level, population, resources, harm potential, or ethics. So look, more flares. You can choose different outcomes. Conserve the natural resources of the planet or generate some synthesis to use later. Remember, the game is always paused when you collect flares, so you can take your time. So we can pick one of these for minus the 10,000 beast herds, resource scarcity in 2,000 years. We can do plus, or we can do a random flare. Okay, so civilization values can be changed in many ways, increasing or decreasing all the stuff, or random chance. So click the upwards navigate area to go back to the galaxy overview. Alright, the galaxy is your garden. It'll take a great amount of care and hard decisions. Will you be able to guide them? Don't know. Alright, so we have the Car Nightmare Bird Tribe. We have Talseti, Frogstar, Trappist. Oh, some of these are actually like... Trappist is a planet we think, or is a star system we may think has life. So slowly changes. Oh look, the Car tribes, they develop things. There's a lot of shit that pops up here. So, growth in Gliese. At the confluence of three rivers, the Car find an uninhabited valley with plenty of luscious food. Without any competition and predators, they can settle and grow in peace here. So, isn't that nice? We could do a dead end, or we could do regular development, or we can do a civilization pillar. I'm not exactly sure why this doesn't cost anything, but we'll do. The valley feed the cow for generations, and they find many more valleys like this. The abundant food sources of the valley let the car population grow and thrive. Well, we need more population. Surely we're not going to starve ourselves this early in the game. And we have more flares that we can collect. The car civilization is born. Hooray! We could increase war potential, or we could do random chance. Remarkable wise person celebrated for their contributions to society. Okay, once powerful tribe falls on here. So let's go ahead and go back up. Let's take a look at some of our other planets here. Like we have something for Talseti. Displacement of ocean currents affects the weather on Talseti 3. I want to find out more about Trappist. Small asteroid showers enrich the surface of Trappist Prime with valuable minerals. So Trappist Prime is tidally locked with one side permanently facing the star. Half the surface is hot and always bright while the other half is drenched. It takes a few days for Trappist Prime to orbit the star. This leads to drastic temperature and season changes just a couple of days. So far, the only cellular organisms evolved on other habitable garden planets, the Trappist System. So extinct plant biomass on Trappist Prime slowly transforms into fossil fuel reserves. That's nice. New plant species grows abundant on the surface. I wonder if we can force evolution here. Continental drift creates a new landmass on Trappist Prime. The murder birds. They want our attention. Great war threatens. Well, that's why we picked the murder birds. Competition over hunting grounds has turned the tribes of Kar against each other. Barbaric leaders push to wipe neighboring tribes out, for they can do the same. Oh no, the exact thing that I thought would happen. Because now there's 3 million of them. We could do peace, or regular conflict, or total war. Total war, aggressive combat between the Kar tribes never ends. The victors wander in search of new tribes to conquer, and we lose 1.2 million. The voices calling for violence get their wish, and we can get 400,000, but hey, we get 5 synthesis. Or we can do peace. The weaker tribes peacefully settle, and nobody has to die. Let's do the nobody has to die. You want to murder other life here, not you guys. We could decrease death. A powerful new hunting band is formed. Okay. Random chance here. Once powerful tribe falls, so... Let's see. We have Rigel. Small asteroid showers enrich the surface of Rigel 7. Alpha Andromeda System. No sapient life. You know, we did see some... Oh, continue to play. We need to hit this button. Let's see. Trappist. Volcanic activity comes here. We did see something about Frogstar. Because that's kind of where we started. Earthquakes open an enormous rift. And Frogstar storm the size of Frogstar 1 forms over a gas planet. A new minor Frogstar planet evolves and falls into and falls into the system's central star. Freak mutation creates an unusual life form in the land here. And the murder birds are back. So this is really the game. And just think, when we're bouncing around multiple civilizations... Uh-oh, extinction. The murder birds are facing extinction here. A massive asteroid breaks apart when entering the atmosphere of Gliese. Fire rains down from the sky and threatens to destroy the world. Well, that would be a great filter. The Fermi Paradox does contemplate a lot of different filters for, like, things that could possibly go wrong. But see, here we go. We could have complete extinction, but we get 30 synthesis. So if we're not happy with our murder birds... we could go back. Notice that we're down a lot closer on resource scarcity. Land burns and the sea boils. The entirety of the murder birds are wiped out. Minimal survivors. We lose 4.8. Most tribes burn to their death as one hemisphere is engulfed by flames. A handful on the other side are able to rebuild, or a close call. The asteroid disintegrates into tiny fragments. The fire in the sky looks terrifying, but is mostly harmless. We're gonna save our people. Legend tells a day when the gods fought in heaven and the fire poured from the sky. So see, suddenly we have a lot less things. While the fire spirits dance in the sky again. Can get even more people. Look, we have a lot more growth here, but we're losing resources. We have an evolution event as well. So the Rigel System has sapient life now. Isn't that fun? A new civilization is formed. Rigel 7 is making simple tools. Well, what do we want on Rigel 7 that has a cute little ring planet here? Another civilization is born. You'll have to foster these creatures too. Guide them in parallel with the other civilizations, and they may make contact. Synthesis can be used to help any society. Sometimes you'll have to make hard choices to ensure the survival of everyone. Well, that's fun. Can we click off the tutorial, please? So we can do another unbalanced species. We can't afford to make cute little dragon people. But we could do the cooler, aggressive humanoid pig creatures wandering the ice plains primarily to compete with other aliens, or we can do the Dorth, sentient and resilient plants. They dwell under the ice and trap other organisms for nutrients. Well, that's my style. So we'll take more synthesis here. They're in the Stone Age as well. So Rigel 7 is born. Overconsumption exhausts a large supply of land. So see, we had a lot of resources before and now we don't, and we have a development event here as we have depopulation. So the car finds sweet and delicious plant in the wilderness of Gliese. Unfortunately, its consumption is deadly in the long term, and many car become ill and perish. You dumb birds. So we could get massive depopulation, which would be interesting. A connection between their beloved food and strong decline of the population is never made. So that would be interesting in that we lose a bunch of growth. But we're already running low on resources here. Many perish because the extensive intake of toxins in the car start to avoid most plants that they find in wilderness. The number of tribes slowly decline, or we could do prevention. We're just going to pick this. Right, so our growth has slowed down a lot. But we haven't fixed our scarcity here. Okay, they create great artworks to move towards utopia. They're still mostly a dystopia, though. Okay, the more deaf their beloved chieftain. So see, we're getting closer to the next stage. So they process the plant biomass and the new materials. Very exciting. We could try to move them. I think they need to be, I think these guys need to stick around in dystopia, though. So if we pop back out here, we have these tribes that aren't doing a lot. We have Frogstor that has two major species on Frogstor begin to interbreed. So we have no sapient life forms here, but we do have something. An animal species shows signs of higher cognition. So I think Frogstor is close. And look, we have plants that are coming through here. Alright, so power in Rigel. Beast Riders of Dorth attempt to tame ferocious and menacing beasts, which roam the wilderness of Rigel 7 for the military purpose of riding them into battle. Plants riding beasts. We want this. Absolute power. Okay, so Doran shamans preach the need to dominate the beast since the threat of their enemies remains strong in doing so. The creatures are treated cruelly to make them even more ferocious. Or we could do regular development. No, we're gonna crank this shit up. So look at that. Potential war casualties is now up to 700,000. Fun times. Let's get some science going. And let's get some population growth going. But yeah, this is a lot of the game, is that we collect synthesis every time one of these events comes up. Oh, they use campaigns to spread lies and superstition. Isn't that fun? We need more resources. Okay. But yeah, eventually those things will increase. We're going to pretend we don't know what that is. Textile artwork appears. But yeah, it does pause every time this comes up, which I don't remember if the demo did that very well. But we have Vex. Soul? What do you mean soul doesn't have any life? The floor of Earth is very multifaceted, from bright ocean veggies or vegetation rays here. How did I not notice that soul was in here? This is fun. So, Patagon ship and Gliese. Some of the complex species of predator with high emotional intelligence and complex social behavior, so it's a dog. Beneficial coexistence promises to emerge between these approachable creatures in the Stone Age, whom they appear to seek companionship with the benefits of food, petting, and shelter. It is literally a dog. Nice. So what can we do? We can do cultural descent. The predatory animals are primarily seen as food. We can do cultural ascent. We can barely afford that. We'll do cultural expansion. That decreases my resources and increases everything else. Screw it. Let's ascend you guys. I have it in for the birds here. Alright, so we need more science. I hope I gave myself more science here. They establish a new dog tribe. So we actually call them dogs. Okay, well, the fire spirits dance in the sky again. Maybe. A powerful new hunting band is formed in Rigel 7. So let's see. Down here in the Sol System. Okay, so we're talking about Earth now. Do we care about Earth? Seismic activity produces a new mountain range under it. It's the Appalachians. They got bluegrass there. A freak mutation creates an unusual life form in the land region of Earth. Just the one land region. Okay, fossil fuels. So we don't really have like a sense of what time it is. We have more stuff going on over here. So the idea here seems to be that we have knowledge in Rigel, which is exciting, is that life is common enough in this game. It's just, can it actually communicate with each other? It's very fascinating. It's a rite of passage during adolescence. The Dorla tattoo their skin with vivid details about their history and knowledge of their people. The art of creating tattoos is passed down. I'd love to see a plant with tattoos. Alright, so Civilization Pillar gives us a bunch of science. Why? Okay, so we lose making this a dead end. Creating and wearing story tattoos are among the highest honors here. That's fine, that gives us a lot of science. You'll be smart plants, right? There we go. So we can hit down a little further. So they're low, they're a dystopia. It's a fun time. Alright. Okay, do we have Trappist doing anything exciting? We have the Car Dog Tribes. Interesting. Ooh, they're actually about to go to a new technological age. Let's do this. Look at this, they reached the Bronze Age, faster than civilization. In the Bronze Age, the Car began testing the limits of their planet's generosity by cultivating crops, raising animals for food, and clearing forests in order to build primitive cities. Early mining and metalworking skills allow them to craft better stuff. So, murder birds, what you got for me? Wisdom, advancement, or power? Let's do advancement. We want to actually get more resources here. So new techniques and tools allow them to move up here. Really digging the soundtrack in this game too, I gotta say. Although the default sound is super loud. But we have 36 million of the murder birds now, so it's an exciting time to be a bird. Earthquakes open an enormous lift below one of Virgo's sea region. Interesting. So Sol System, what you got for me? Is accumulating a new atmospheric layer. That's probably Venus. Maybe an external planetoid enters the orbital pattern of the Sol System. Okay. Mark tribes. So this is where it's going to say, haha, you, oh, the Mark tribes reached the Bronze Age. That's what they call themselves now. So they're marked plants. Cool. So we could do wisdom, advancement, or power. Let's give them some wisdom. Apply their newfound knowledge and communication skills to societal improvements. Hooray. Got a little more synthesis for that. I love everybody equally. I don't have one favorite over the other, but I mean, they're murder birds with pet dogs. So reduction of some kind due to continuous developments within sedentary horticultural communities. Many more beautiful garden complexes are constructed all over Gliese. This is increased interest in physical and mental well-being that gardens can offer. That doesn't sound bad. So we can make it a cultural pillar, but we can't afford it. Only very wealthy rulers can afford to adorn their palace with gardens. On the upside, this results in garden design becoming a revered art form, but it does give us some resources, or dead end. A lot of water is diverted, which takes precedence over fertile farmlands. Several generations later, the cutters suffer heavily due to unusable fields. Yeah, we don't want them to dry up all the way. What's increasing our death here? Conflict between two major things here. Boost in science. But yeah, look at that. Our population is just skyrocketing. More resources, please. Okay, let's go back to Sol for a minute. I know Sol's boring. So we have Sol here. Central continental drift creates a new landmass. It is known. An asteroid trapped in gas giant's gravity well becomes a permanent moon. That happens a lot. A new plant species grows abundant, so we're having like the second Cambrian explosion pretty soon, I guess. Dramatically impacts the climate on Earth. There we go. Meanwhile, the Mark Ecclesias. Injustice. Do we care? We're plants. Traditionally, the elderly are highly respected. Now the marked are formed, the authority of the elders is put into law. The oldest could soon be chosen as speakers, not because of their word or skill, but simply because tradition allows it. Well, I won't stand for that. We could have prevention here and pay 30 to not have the old people tell people what to do. The entire Mark civilization adopts the rule of old speakers. The young do not enjoy any rights or have to follow the will of their elders, even if those elders are cruel. Or we could say some ecclesiastes become fanatical generotocracies. Wow, it's a word I wasn't expecting to have to read tonight. Others decide on auxiliary methods to choose for their speakers. Let's do that. Alright. So Bronze Jade's technology provides lots of good stuff. These guys are like flying through this whole area. An influential Mark speaker rises to power. Yeah, we're just blasting this. Are the gods watching us? I don't know. Y'all haven't had like an asteroid almost wipe out your planet. The Marked established a new approach to tattooing, often adorning their entire bodies. That would be very exciting to see. You need more growth. Can we get another planet to like do things? Okay, I want to see what Ross is. The oceans of Virgo are filled with kelp flora, giving the water a distinct red color. Delicious. Gargantuan seaweed accumulates, swarms the entire continents, drifting the oceans. The labyrinthine coral forests and the equator are home to stuff. We have an evolution events. Soul. Sapient life has evolved on Earth. Is it robots? Rudimentary of Earth started marking simple tools. What's it going to be on Earth? Can it be humans? Oh, we're just a standard species. Boring. What's an oh my god! Okay, so balanced species. Dolphins. We cannot select dolphins. Humans. The group of hairless humanoid mammals. Aggressive, but also quite clever. Dinosaurs. Giant feathered reptiles with small brains. They hunt and they eat. I mean, humans are cool and all, but we can literally be dinosaurs. So, rise of the Reptara, as it were. The dinosaur civilization is born. This game just got way cooler. Alright, dinosaur textile artworks represent harmony on Earth. Alright. That brings a smile to my face as we have plants fighting with swords against each other. Yeah, this is the kind of game that it is. Like I said, it's a chill game where you sit and just click things and a lot of shit happens. But we're in the Iron Age now. You know what? I gotta save some of my points for the dinosaurs. We're just gonna do regular advancement. Love how the plants just kind of overtook our murder birds. And I love how I have just kind of suddenly ignored and made everything very aggressive here. Let's find invasion of the Horde. Barbarian tribes of Kar rally together, forming a huge army of raiders. Very exciting. We could do total war. The Horde runs against itself, and we lose 9.2 million people. But we gain 7 here, but we lose a bunch of other stuff. Regular conflict, we lose 0.3 or peace. We're just going to have to do regular conflict. So we lose some growth, we lose some people, but we gain some resources in turn. And we can make back up some of that growth because these murder birds love to murder and bird. I could have probably gotten to Utopia by now. Let's check on our dino buddies. The dino tribes. The dinosaurs compose an epic poem recounting their history. Yes. Dinosaurs use cave paintings to spread lies and superstition. I wonder what the dinosaurs are superstitious about. We're going to make them utopian dinosaurs. They build an astonishing monument on Earth. This is just too much. I can't handle this. They depleted a large reason of stuff there, probably by stepping on it. Alright, once powerful tribe falls on Earth, that's fine. So they're slowly crawling through the Stone Age. And we have dino tribes developing. Alright, some dinosaurs worship fertility deities and long rites that symbolize mating, motherhood, and sexual fortitude. The elaborate rituals involve fruits and herbal infusions that arouse the libido, while drums, stimulating rhythms, and mating partners dance in rapture through the night. The resulting wave of procreation could lead to a population surge on Earth. Well, you know what's better than dinosaurs? More dinosaurs. So, we're going to call this a civilization pillar. We need all the dinosaurs we can get. They're just going to lay their eggs and do their thing. So dinosaurs abandoned their clans and wander Earth in search of new lands. Cute. They establish a new tribe. Very exciting. It's a good day to be a dinosaur. Because we have a lot of them now. Alright, well, enemies from beyond conquer our world. Dude, you guys are dinosaurs. You're a theropod. You don't care about that. I'm not gonna take that bait. Let's see what the Mark Kingdoms have. Iron Age technology allows them to harvest biomass. So we have Trappist. Did I check on Trappist to see what's here? An uncooled dwarf star is orbited by a desert planet, Trappist Prime. And I don't think there's like a turn limit here. You just keep going until you get what you get. But fluctuation in Trappist Central Star leads to changes in the color spectrum. Like I said, it's all very interesting. And what ends up happening is that we're going to keep bouncing around a bunch of stuff here. So we have our enlightened plants. The holy city that is rumored to have sacred power starts drawing spiritualist priests and sages. So they're blasting through the Iron Age. We're gonna, you know what? That's trying to move you towards Utopia. We can make it a dead end. They worship the city itself and not the teaching of the inhabitants. Zealots conquer the palace and slowly the city loses its appeal. Or you could say the holy city becomes a center of spiritual and philosophical. You know what? Let's have philosophizing tattooed plants. That seems like a lot of fun. And apparently they want some more this year. Wow, we're actually up to Utopia 1. They found a promising new city. Yeah, it's good to be here, although we have resource problems. But yeah, I like that all these civilizations have their own cute little names. But we're up to 1 star, whatever that means. So our places are all kind of spread apart. Frogstor seems to be really wanting to be active at this point. And eventually I guess we're going to have everybody kind of doing their thing here. So, the dog tribes. Paradigm shift. With city-states growing and rulers trying to unify the people, the concept of single god becomes more and more attractive. Having people rally around one religion is deemed to be very effective to advance society. Yeah. Monotheism is a very powerful call. We could do a cultural ascent, we could do cultural expansion, or we could do cultural descents. Well, conflicts arise between the polytheist and monotheist, and they fight and they fight and they fight. And, You know what? I'm going to do that. Because this one lowers our resources, and we're already kind of low on resources. So we're gonna stop the rise of monotheism. We're gonna make ourselves even more dystopian. These murder birds, their name is not an accident. So it doesn't mean I have to do a good job with them here, but we do need to give them more resources, because right now they're losing resources in 65 years. Because there's just too many people. There's just too many people. That actually decreases our science. Whoops. But yet we still get a little bit of a plank there. Let's see here. So, like, the tech level goes back, but our next age goes up. I don't know if that's how that's supposed to work. I definitely want to read about that later. Is there life after death? If you're a murder bird, you just care about the murder. Alright. Scarcity crisis in Rigel. Forest areas are becoming scarce. The effects of innate consumption brought by Mark's civilization to breaking point while they're dealing with the resource scarcity, while the kingdoms find ways to prevent the complete exhaustion of environment, while they turn against each other. So, we're at a critical juncture here, as tends to be the case in the game. Crisis. We could roll the dice. Chance of hostilities between the mark and the harm value. So we don't know what this will do. Chance of decline. And it's minus 60, or we could just pop a war here. And we lose 8.8 million. We'll just do crisis. Let's see what happens. To this day, something happens. The Mark Kingdom's mitigation in Rigel. So the infrastructure of Mark society is falling apart because forest areas are becoming scarce. Many technological advancements are not sustainable anymore. Collars are left. One of the people of Rigel are trading knowledge for survival. Gross. Well, could do strong mitigation or regular mitigation. So that would be... We get a lot of resources, but we lose knowledge. We lose pretty much the tech lead they have. I think this is fine. Scholars are now busy keeping Mark society from falling apart with little wood they have left. The next generation will be more capable of living with scarcity, though a lot of technological advancement will be lost. That is a lot of tech advancement that's lost. Let's get some utopia back. But we have 346 years, and the dinosaur tribes are continuing to go here. Like I said, I could do this all night. We're gonna kind of call the video here after this. Just because beast herds are not as easy to exploit anymore in the past because the dinosaurs keep chomping on them as a result. The dinosaurs of Sol could move their clans closer to the diminished resources to establish fire more clearings and everything. Well, we could do massive consumption, we could do regular development, or we could do prevention. Let's do regular development. I feel like we're going to need some of that stuff later. The chieftains of the dinosaur clans react to the beast herd shortage by increasing resource extraction. The rise in exploitation leads to increased environmental damage. Well, what can we do? Apparently, we can try to fish for resource cards. But that's pretty much the Fermi Paradox, at least in this early game at this point. Like I said, the non-demo version definitely is not holding hands anymore. It just drops you right in and says, okay, how are you going to build up this civilization? How are you going to make it work? We have lots of beast herds. We have lots of things growing. Everybody's starving. Who knows exactly how it's going to be. But yeah, like I said, I could just keep clicking things all the time. It definitely has a gameplay loop, if you want to call it that. Oh my god, we have 27 years before we run out of beast herds. Okay, this is going to be the last event. Oh my god. Extinction. Again. A series of massive volcanic eruptions threaten the card. No wonder they're so angry all the time. They keep almost getting destroyed. Poisonous aerosols enter the food chain. Okay. So if we don't like these guys, we could wipe them out again and get 40 points. They're helpless against the climate effects. We could do minimal survivors, and we lose almost all of them, even though they're stuck in the Bronze Age. and that's terrible. We gotta do close call again. They instinctively settle far away from volcanic environments and are able to adapt quickly. I'm not mean. I can't be mean. I just can't wipe out the murder birds. They're too cute. I mean, look at those scary ass eyes. What does this button do? Okay, that just lets me read it again. Alright, well, we're going to save the murder birds. But that's going to do it for this Free Play Friday. Like I said, this is a game that I could play a lot longer. I honestly forgot that it came out at the beginning of July. But yeah, this is the Fermi Paradox, a game where we are shepherding civilizations to hopefully meet each other and maybe one day even be nice to each other. Who knows for sure. But that's going to do it for this one. This is Asher. Let's just take a look back out at the world, out at the galaxy, out at the universe, out at the things that are pinging everywhere for us to see. The game is paused. Another flare is just going to sit there impatiently. But yeah, it's a very different game, but an interesting game, and definitely one worth consideration. You all definitely leave your thoughts in the comments. Personally, I'm rooting for the plants from the Marked Kingdoms, although I'm always sympathetic to the dinosaurs. And the murder birds are super fun. But we'll do this and weird stuff like this in the future as well. There's a few other games that I picked up on the Steam sale that I'm interested in looking at, but this is a game I definitely wanted to sit down and try a little bit, and I'm glad I did because it jumps around all over the place, which naturally, if you've heard me ever talk, I jump around all over the place too, so fits right in. Thanks for watching. This is Asher. Like the video if you liked it. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments. We'll do this again soon. You all take care.